Hello there guys, we're going to look at some coins. This is a coin thing. Right, well, I'm not going metal detecting today. Feeling a little under the weather, so I thought I'd restart these coin thing videos, which I used to do, and I stopped doing. But I'm going to share my love of coins with the world, with everyone, and with the help of Namista and Google. We're going to learn about coins. So I hope you understand that I'm bound to make mistakes, but this is my learning journey, and I hope you enjoy. Today we're going to be looking at Nazi occupation coinage. So that means basically some countries that were occupied by the Nazis, they still had to use coins. So yeah, we'll have a look at these, and we use a digital microscope to have a look at some of the details too. Right then, here's the first coin, but before we get into this, I just want to say, if you hear any music or anything in the background, I own no rights to it. It's one of my children playing a computer game, and it is what it is. So yeah. Right, this first coin, this is a 25 cents from 1942, and it's from the Netherlands. I can't touch it too much because this one is made out of zinc, and I have a mild allergy to zinc. I can touch it for a little while, but not for too long. I just won't go licking my hands or anything. Right, so why is it made out of zinc, you might ask? Well, during the war, I sound like Uncle Albert. No, during the war. Right, anyway, during the war, metal was very sought after for the war effort to make ammunition, vehicles, tanks, and so on. So they used cheap substitutes like zinc and aluminium. This particular one was made out of zinc. So if we go on to Namista, I've typed it in there. Namista, if you didn't know, is an online database of coinage and notes. Now they've added notes from all the way around the world, and from here it's a good resource because it tells you exactly the weights and dimensions of the coin that you're looking for in particular. So it's a good way to spot fakes as well. So right, this particular one was minted from 1941 to 1943, and it is a 25 cents of the golden decimalization. Right, so as you can see, this one is 25 cents. And if we look under the microscope here, we'll see it's surrounded by some kind of plant or leaf effect on one side, and on the other side. Now this one here in particular, well, these coins don't tend to survive very long because of the zinc itself. They tend to go a bit. Here's an example here. You see on this coin, we'll get onto this coin in a minute. You see it's the spot there. They do start to corrode, and sometimes you might find them pure white. So on the back, on the reverse, we've got a picture of a ship. Looks like a Viking longboat. So let's have a look at that. It's just a ship in the waves. Here we have it, and with the name of the country, Nederland, or we know it as Netherlands. Yep, lovely coin, but they obviously, this was occupied by the Nazis during this time, and they still needed to use coinage, so there we have it. 1942, 25 cents. Right, this is another Netherlands coin. This is the 1942 10 cents. There we have it. On the reverse, we have 3 tulips with dots above the main part of the flower. And underneath, we have Nederland, which translates to Netherlands. And on this side, look under the scope. We have again we have the sprigs, we'll call them. And on the other side, there's the 10 cents, 1942. And this one has around the tulips is circled. This has got a reeded edge. I don't know if you can see that properly. And there we have it. Again, it's made out of zinc, so I won't touch it for too long. I think that's really cool design, actually. I like that. Right, this next one's a little different. It's a lot of detail squashed into a tiny coin. It's got a hole in it. This one is from France, 1941, 10 centimes from France. Okay, let's look under the scope for this one. So there we are, we have the French, what do you call that? Lettering. It says, I'm looking at the mister here. No, I don't know what it says. Fraternity, there you go. Right, anyway, this is 10 centimes, and it's made out of zinc. There's the date, 1941. This one has a reef on it, on the front. And centimes, because it's a big word, they squashed it all into a MES with inside a big letter C. There we are, so they can fit it all on. That's one side. On the reverse, we have a fish. We have RF. And if you look at the bottom of this one, let's see if I can zoom that in a bit, focus that a bit more. There is the engraver's name. It's Edmund Emil Lindauer. And basically he was a sculptor and a medalist from a very early age. But he designed this coin, or the not the coin, but the stuff that went on it, the fish and everything. And I think there's a lot of detail on this, considering it's such a small coin, and from the time period it was from, during the war. So yeah, it's pretty cool. That's what I was talking about earlier. They see the white bits where the centimes mark is. That's a sign of corrosion. That's just natural corrosion of zinc. Eventually this whole coin will probably go white, and it might even degrade. But there you go. That's the French 1941 10 centimes from German occupied France. Right, this is a square coin this time. It's made out of zinc again, and this one's from the Netherlands again. It is what it is. It's German occupied Netherlands. This one's from 1941, and it's a 5 cents. If we look on here, you see the horizontal lines. This one has a 5 cent mark with 4 points around the circle, as you can see. And those horizontal lines, there should be, it is starting to fade, starting to wear away, 24 lines. And on this side you have a plant or sprig and the Royal Mint of Netherlands mark there. And on the other side there will be 9 sea waves. And it's a square looking coin with smooth edges. On the other side, we'll have a look under the scope. In the centre you have a sun and 2 crossed horse heads with the Nederland, which translates to Netherlands. They're a pretty cool coin. There's a lot of detail again on such a small little coin. You can see it started to corrode there, started to fade a little, as zinc does. So yeah, another cool little coin, which I like the square coins. It's something different. Right, on to the next. Right then, right. This next one is another zinc coin, and it's from 1945, so towards the end of the war. Still from occupied territory. This is a Belgium coin. It's quite faded, but it is 1945. And then we have on the edges there, we've got Belgique. It's basically a Belgium and France way of saying Belgium. Okay, and we have the lion. But this is the interesting part on the front here. So we have one. This is a 1 franc, so 1F, 1 franc. We have a crown, which is a king's crown, and these two things here, L's, one opposite, or mirroring the other one. There's the L, and there's a 3 there. This is basically King Leopold III, and at the bottom we'll have the date, 1945. There's a reeded edge, or rim, and a reeded edge there. It's a cool little coin. This one started to fade quite a lot. I won't hold it for too long because of the zinc content. But yeah, it's made out of zinc, and this one was made towards the very end of the war. So yeah, another coin from occupied territory. Right then, this is the last coin from my occupied coin video, for now at least. This one here is the 1941 5 ore from Denmark. Now, as I'm sure you all know, at the breakout of the Second World War, Denmark wanted to be a neutral state, but Berlin decided otherwise and occupied it anyway. This coin was made out of aluminium. So there were 2 coins, 2 different kinds of coins that were made. There was aluminium and zinc. The zincs, which you know about, this aluminium one is also really, really cheap to make. And because of its metal content, it does degrade really, really easily. Not as quickly as zinc, and it's quite sturdy. Aluminium, but if it's exposed to the elements, it does corrode. So this is a 1941 5 ore. Right, so on there we have, let's see, around the edge, around the top we got Kong af Denmark. So that basically translates as King of Denmark. There's the king's crown, and the king at the time was Christian X. So we've got a big C for Christian, and Roman numeral 10 in the center of the C. On the other side, Oops. We have the 5. Or. There we are. And in Denmark they use something called a krone coinage. And we've got some sprigs there on the sides. The mint mark, let me see, is at the bottom of the coin. NS, there's a love heart in the middle of in the centre there. Don't know if you can see that properly, but right there, that's supposed to be a love heart. As you can tell, it does sort of wear pretty easily. So yeah, that's it. Right, so that's it for this episode of A Coin Thing. I hope you found it as interesting as I did. It's a big learning journey for me, and I hope you'll join me on the next episode. Yeah, please give my video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, please, well, don't give a thumbs down, please. Anyway, right, leave a comment if you will. Really appreciate all your feedback. And I shall see you on the next one.